Retrograde Mercury in fourth house. Native with a retrograde Mercury in fourth house loves to be in the cozy, comfortable environment of his or her home. If the horoscope is poor, then the native may also have a stepmother who makes him run for his life. But if the horoscope is good, then the native generally enjoys a good relation with his or her mother. Frequent change of residence is evident with this placement. When it comes to property purchase, then the native feels stuck. He is unable to make a good choice, and so it is advisable that the native with this placement should seek advice from his well-wishers before buying a new property or a new vehicle. Breast cancer is possible with this placement, especially if Mercury is the Lord of fourth house and Sun and Jupiter are afflicted or malefic in the first chart. Women with this placement should take almost medical precautions to avoid the instances such as breast cancer or lung cancer. Fourth house is the house that signifies overall happiness from the material world. If retrograde Mercury is placed in Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra are activated, then the native's promise of attaining certain level of happiness in his or her life, though at a very late stage in life. Issues in property, issues in vehicle, and issues regarding the chest is possible with this placement. Overall, not a bad placement, though the native should focus on managing his or her temperament and should not become an emotional fool. The retrograde Mercury in fifth house. Native with a retrograde Mercury in fifth house is confused when it comes to seeking a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend. These natives mess up in their relationships. Usually they get trapped in multiple relationships, but somehow they continue to miss the feeling of love. Passionate affairs happen, but love is absent. In studies, these natives are good, but they miss to make a lasting impression on their teachers and masters. Creative ideas excite them, but their ideas are so unique that it becomes difficult for them to convince others about their out of the blue ideas. However, in certain cases where the horoscope has been good, these natives have made a good name in the field of art and creativity. Native with a good horoscope becomes a C-class board executive, such as a CEO, COO, or a managing director in the late years of his life. This is also a good placement for sportsmen. Many good athletes are born with this placement. These people are fun and they also like to have a lot of fun. Girls find them amusing. Interest in board games, video games is very much high, and so native should balance well, as too much of focus on playing games can distract you from your life goals. Political weight of mind and shrewdness comes naturally with this placement. Reading holy scriptures, attaining the position of a scholar is something that excites these natives. Overall, it is meant for someone who is born to make his or her mark. Though challenges in relationships and the longing for love remain till the very end of their life. The retrograde Mercury in the sixth house. Native with the retrograde Mercury in sixth house are very argumentative. They like to debate, argue, and on a negative note, they also like to fight and quarrel. If the horoscope is poor, very much trapped in many disputes whose primary reason is his own quarrelsome nature. However, if the horoscope is of good quality, then the native can become a good reporter, a good journalist, a good lawyer by profession. These natives suffer due to black magic attacks, and in certain cases, if the native is very cheap, then he himself can indulge in doing black magic on his enemy. So overall, this placement is not a very desirable placement. Such a meeting is not trustworthy, and it is only if Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are in good condition that this placement can give money and good status in life. Natives with this placement should try to have a positive state of mind and should realize that fighting and abusing others or being offensive is not the way towards lasting success. Change your attitude so that your destiny changes for good. Retrograde Mercury in seventh house. Native with a retrograde Mercury in seventh house is often confused when it comes to enjoying a good sexual life. Native fantasizes the act of sex, but when it comes to the actual act of sex, he seems to fall short of satisfying his bed partner. Early ejaculation is a common problem that occurs with this placement. They spend a lot of time in oral sex, and when the time of actual penetration comes, they seem to lose interest or are not able to sexually satisfy their bed partner. In worst cases, it has been observed that the native has become impotent and seeks treatment from sexologists. This is not a good placement for business. The native struggles in his or her business. Growth comes but at a very slow pace, and it becomes difficult in managing the constant fluctuations in business profits. This placement signifies that the native will have many open enemies, and these open enemies will ensure that the native struggles in his life as well as in his business as well as in his sexual life too. Overall, this is not a good placement, and it signifies that there is going to be much misery, many challenges when it comes to business, sex, and health. The retrograde Mercury in 8th house. The retrograde Mercury in 8th house is a very sensitive placement. Depending on the quality of the horoscope, this placement will fructify. Either the native will become a good psychologist or will need a good psychologist. Either the native will become a victim of black magic spell or will do black magic on others. Either the native will utilize the knowledge of the other one to heal others or to cause harm to others. So this placement is very dicey. There is no middle ground to this placement. Either it is a complete disaster or complete revival. This placement leads only to extreme cases. Either the person is on his way to becoming a great saint or he is on his way towards becoming a terrible sinner. However, two things are common, such as coming across strange people, coming across strange incidents, coming across strange dreams,